So I took a cross-country trip, and I had a lot of fun doing one thing, trolling Teslas. Yes, you can troll Teslas. Self-driving cars are great, but they have a few inherent flaws, and when you follow behind one for a few thousand miles, you end up noticing these flaws. So we're going to discuss them here today. If you want to have fun, here's what you do. Well, some people might find it fun. If you have a Tesla self-driving car, you probably already have experienced this. If not, you probably soon will. Problem number one is I was in a car with a adaptive cruise control, so it would always keep the same distance behind whatever car I'm in front of. And every now and then that would be a Tesla, and it'd be a self-driving Tesla, of course, because it's on the interstate and the driver's usually asleep. So it's going the posted exact speed limit and staying in its lane and driving perfect, except for the gap it leaves between itself and the next car is quite a bit, and it's going the speed limit. And other people on the highway are going faster, and then they cut over, and even though they're going considerably faster at times and accelerating away, the minute they cut over, the Tesla senses that they're too close and hits its brakes and slows down, which I'm back here, so now my car slows down, and I'm like, what the fuck? And after like 3 or 4 times of this, you then notice an alarming trend. If the speed limit's 70 and the car cuts in front is going like 75, 80, 90, it doesn't really matter, way faster, the 70 will slow down to about 60. And that creates a domino effect because now every other car that was going cuts over real quick and cuts back in. And now it drops all the way down to 30. And it'll go 30 miles an hour down the interstate with cars then being pissed off, laying on the horn and cutting off even closer, because they're raging, and I'm just fucking laughing. So if you cut off a Tesla, you ruin their day, because then it's going to start a domino if there's traffic, and everyone will cut it off, and then he'll be going really slow, and then he might wake up. Oh, that's not the end of this story, is it? There's a lot more that we could do with that. There was more flaws. If there's a sharp left-hand turn or right-hand turn, and there's reflectors that are about 4 feet apart, and they're about car height, this car, as it's turning, can't sense that theirs are stationary and assumes that they are also moving because the car is going in 2 directions, forward and turning. That's what I'm assuming is happening, because it locks up its fucking brakes from 70 miles an hour down to a dead stop in the interstate because it assumed it was coming at. It did that twice. There was one where there was 2 reflectors close on the left-hand side, and the car is going through, and it's a canyon, so I mean it's narrow roads, but still interstate legal roads, and the stuff is still interstate legal off of the road, the guide rail with the reflectors. And twice on that one, it assumed that the guide rail was too close or moving at it or something, and it dropped the speed, and the driver realized what was happening and pulled into the right lane so that then he could bring back up to speed, because, at least the driver was awake on that one. Well, people are going to ask, well, how's that help me? Well, it's real easy to just, oh, here's another one. Let's get to how these help you, or where stationary fun happens. Auto-dimming headlights. They're on high beams, and that's awesome. And it senses another car way away, even before it could affect your eye, the other car's eyes, and it dims them for you back to normal. That's fucking awesome. And then after that goes, it brings them back up. Great. Until there's an extra bright speed limit sign, or an extra bright no parking sign, because now it assumes that's another car and it dims its lights. And then afterwards, after you pass it, brings them back on. And then if there's another one, does it again and brings it back on. And before you know it, you're driving in a fucking strobe light. So all you have to do is buy reflective paint. It's a clear paint that is super, super fucking reflective. You spray it on during the daytime and it's clear. You can't see it. At night, it's super reflective. So, you know, hey, you can have fun. Just paint them all in the countryside like that. Paint it down the side of a fucking tree. You know, hey, you know what you can also do with those? You can get those little thin stakes or any little type of marker or even folded piece of plastic or cardboard with 2 thumbtacks and spray that on it and push it on a tree, push it on a stick, push it within, you know, 2 about, you know, car width apart on the side of a sharp turn and watch all the Teslas come to a near stop in the middle of nowhere for no reason. You know, not that I do that, not that I'm recommending you do that, but, you know, that's an inherent trolling problem with Teslas that someone's probably going to do sometime, and you know, so I'm just telling people now to prepare for it. And, you know, I don't know how you would fix that. I guess that's a Tesla computer program thing. You know, maybe he can ask his spaceship how to fix it. Cars then being pissed off, laying on the horn and cutting off even closer. That's fucking awesome.